Welcome back to my companion series on my forthcoming book, Becoming You. Today we've arrived at part 12, Learning the Language of Your Feelings. And if there is one idea from this entire series that I wish every person could truly understand, it is this. Your feelings are not the problem. Your relationship with your feelings is. Most of us were never taught how to understand our emotions. We were taught how to control them. Don't cry, don't be angry, don't be frightened, cheer up, be brave, stop making a fuss. Slowly we learned that some emotions were acceptable and others simply were not. So we buried them, distracted ourselves from them, judged ourselves for having them, or pretended they didn't exist. But here's the tragedy. In trying to avoid painful feelings, we also disconnect from one of the most intelligent guidance systems we possess. Our emotions, because feelings are not interruptions to life. They are information. They are messages. They are the language through which our inner child speaks to you. Think of your feelings as your internal barometer. Imagine living in a house with no windows. You can't see whether a storm is approaching. The only clue is the change in pressure inside the house. That's exactly how your emotional system works. Long before your conscious mind understands what is happening, your nervous system has already noticed. Something feels safe, something feels threatening, something feels unfair, something reminds you of an old wound. That's why you sometimes walk into a room and immediately feel uncomfortable without knowing why. Or why a perfectly ordinary comment leaves you feeling unexpectedly upset. Your emotional system has already detected something important. Your feelings are inviting you to become curious before they're asking you to become certain. But feelings are more than a barometer. They're also messengers. They don't simply tell us that something has changed. They begin to tell us why it matters. Every emotion carries information about our needs, information about our values, our boundaries, our relationships, our beliefs, our hopes and our fears. Every feeling is asking us to pay attention. The question is not whether your feeling is real. The question is what your feeling is trying to tell you. Throughout this series, we've been building an internal family. You've met your inner child. You've recognized your inner critic. You've begun developing your inner nurturing parent. You've explored boundaries, values, self-compassion, and learning to trust yourself again. This chapter brings all of those ideas together because every single day, something happens that stirs an emotion within you. A message goes unanswered. Someone criticizes you. Someone praises you. You experience disappointment, joy, loneliness, excitement. In that ordinary moment, your inner child feels something first. Your inner critic often rushes in with judgment. And your inner nurturing parent has the opportunity to pause, to listen and respond wisely instead of reacting automatically. Learning to read your feelings is the doorway through which every other lesson in this series becomes something you can actually live. One of the most important distinctions we can make is between feelings and facts. Feelings are always real. They're not always accurate interpretations of reality. Suppose someone doesn't reply to your text. You immediately feel perhaps rejected. That feeling is completely genuine. But it does mean you have actually... Does it mean you've been rejected? Not necessarily. Perhaps they're driving. Perhaps they're busy. Perhaps they simply forgot. The feeling tells you that something important has been activated inside you. It doesn't automatically explain why. Feelings deserve our attention. They don't always deserve our unquestioning obedience. This is where another important idea becomes useful. The difference between foreground thoughts and background beliefs. Foreground thoughts are the ones we hear every day. They probably don't like me. I've made a mistake. I'm worried. But underneath those thoughts often sit much older beliefs. I don't matter. I'm not enough. Or I'm too much. I have to earn love. If I make a mistake, people will leave me. Those beliefs were often written during childhood when we were trying to make sense of our emotional experiences that no child should ever have had to explain. Today, our feelings often uncover those buried beliefs long before our unconscious mind recognizes them. In that sense, our emotions are like archaeologists. They keep uncovering hidden truths until we are ready to seriously look at them. And this is also where the inner critic loves to interfere. Your inner child quietly says, I'm frightened. Your inner critic immediately replies, oh, don't be ridiculous. Your inner child says, I feel lonely. The inner critic says, nobody wants to hear that. Your inner child says, I feel sad. The inner critic responds, you're pathetic. Very quickly, the original emotion becomes buried beneath shame, guilt, anxiety, or self-criticism. The messenger never gets to deliver the message. That's why one of the greatest gifts you can offer yourself is learning to listen before trying to fix. Our culture encourages us to solve uncomfortable feelings as quickly as possible. Think positively, stay busy, distract yourself, move on. But feelings are much like children. The more they're ignored, the louder they become. Anxiety, panic, emotional numbness, and overwhelming reactions are often not random problems. They are messages that have gone unheard for too long. So psychology makes another very helpful distinction: primary emotions and secondary emotions. Primary emotions are our first authentic response. If someone betrays your trust, you may feel hurt. If someone threatens you, you feel fear. If your boundaries are violated, you may feel anger. These emotions are intelligent. They evolve to protect us. But many of us don't stay with them for very long. Instead, we experience secondary emotions. We feel hurt, then become angry about feeling hurt. We feel frightened, then criticize ourselves for being frightened. We feel lonely, then feel ashamed for needing other people. The original message becomes buried beneath another emotional layer. Many people spend years trying to solve the secondary emotion while never discovering the primary feeling underneath. Clients often ask me another question: how do I know whether my feelings are intuition or old wounds? The answer is that both are possible. Intuition usually arrives quietly. It feels calm, steady and clear. It doesn't shout. Trauma is different. It feels urgent, intense, overwhelming. It insists that something terrible is about to happen, even when today's situation doesn't justify that level of alarm. Often it isn't responding to today at all. It's responding to yesterday. Learning to recognize that difference is one of the great tasks of emotional maturity. Perhaps emotional health is not about feeling less. Perhaps it's about understanding more. Instead of asking, how do I get rid of this feeling? Try asking a different set of questions. What am I feeling? What happened just before this feeling appeared? What meaning have I given that event? Which belief has been activated? Is this my inner child speaking? Is my inner critic taking over? What would my inner nurturing parents say instead? Those questions transform feelings from enemies into guides. For years, you may have believed your emotions were your weakness. Perhaps they are actually one of your greatest sources of wisdom. They tell you when your boundaries have been crossed, when your values have been honored, when your needs have been neglected, when old wounds have been reopened. And when your authentic self feels fully alive, the goal isn't to eliminate anxiety, sadness, or fear. The goal is to understand why those feelings have appeared. So let me leave you with a simple daily practice. The next time you notice a feeling rising within you, pause. Don't rush to fix it. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Is this the primary emotion or a secondary emotion? What meaning have I attached to what just happened? Which belief has been activated? Which voice am I hearing? My inner child, my inner critic, or my inner nurturing parent? And finally, what would it look like to respond with curiosity instead of judgment? You won't always find an immediate answer. That's perfectly okay. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is relationship. Because every time you stop and listen, you strengthen the relationship you have with yourself. So the next time a strong feeling appears, place a hand gently over your heart, take a slow depth, and simply ask, what are you trying to tell me? And then listen. Because beneath the noise of your inner critic, your inner child has probably been speaking with remarkable clarity all along. When you learn to understand your feelings, you begin to understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, you become the safe person your inner child has been waiting for all along. Thanks for watching. this video resonates with you, I'd love you to join me for the next step in the Becoming You journey. Please like and subscribe and share this video with someone who might need to hear it. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep becoming you.